October Girls presents The Boglands, Part 2. Our travelers continue across this unforgiving landscape, the light of their lanterns doing precious little against the oncoming night. Lord Escham keeps his fist clenched around his sword, his eyes scanning the water. A black mirror reflecting the rotting stumps and barren trees, their gnarled branches like old, arthritic fingers clawing at the sky. The mist forms a haze of red in the setting sun. He keeps trying to see those red eyes, a black reptilian shadow amongst the depths, a ripple, perhaps a sinuous tail snaking through the water, anything that might tell him where it went. But no, that creature had come from nowhere, and that was where it was hiding again. No, not hiding, he thinks, waiting. The servants try to row faster, but the credible threat of the creature in the water makes them hesitant to stir up too much wake. Thanks to decisions of questionable morals, he was now the owner of a dozen servants spread between 2 boats, 3 maids, and his pretty young wife. And they were all looking to him to lead them out of this hellish place. But he had no answers for them, no plan, just orders from a king who hates him. Being a former rebel will do that. Lord Escham told himself he was prepared for the terror of the Boglands. He told himself he was prepared for the wetness and the inconvenience of moving his entire life across the country, the fear, the terror, the complaints of the others. But, of course, he was wrong. Then again, it was all preferable to wearing a rope as a necktie. He could still feel the eyes of the other rebels on him, full of hate, calling him a traitor after he sold them out to keep his own skin safe, right before the executioner pulled the trap door and their boots began to twitch. But his mind was straying now. He doesn't have time to linger in the past. The present is where he needs to be. However, the breath of mist on his beard and the steady rocking of the boat calls his fatigue to the surface, and he struggles to stay in the moment. "Master," says Eli, his head servant, "perhaps we should dock for the night and set out in the morning." Lord Escham turns his eyes on the man dressed in a simple sweaty tunic and warm pants. He finds that he does not particularly like someone in his employ giving orders. "No, we press on. But the rowers are tired, my lord, and with that creature in the water, perhaps it is best to be on land." Calm words, reasonable words, but Lord Escham narrows his eyes at the man. This had been a consistent problem with him. "Do I need to repeat myself?" Lord Escham asks in a dangerous tone. But Eli does not change his gaze. He keeps his face carefully blank. The silence between the men stretches. They ignore the murmur of voices coming from the trailing boat, the one carrying the bulk of their belongings, its lantern a faint glow in the mist. Eli does not answer him. "My love," Lady Escham interrupts. "Perhaps he is right. I fear we will not clear the bog by nightfall." She approaches him, laying a hand on his arm. He keeps his eyes on Eli. "And I personally would prefer to spend the night near a fire rather than dreaming of a beast swimming beneath us." The voices on the trailing boat grow louder, and Lord Escham finally tears his gaze away to look at it. But the mist is too thick, and he can only see the shadows walking along the stern of the boat. It starts to lag behind them, most of the servants abandoning their oars. Eli moves, accidentally colliding his shoulder with Lord Esham's. "Is everything all right back there?" he calls. His voice echoes in the gloom, and the voices are rising still further, their tones more panicked now. Lord Escham isn't looking at the trailing boat, however. He is looking at the water, and then he sees what he is looking for. A large log floating in the gloom moves. It bends suddenly, a section of it lifting, swiveling toward Lord Escham, as if trying to meet his stare. Red eyes blink at him. Once. Twice. And then a deep, staccato growl rends from it. More logs are moving now. He counts 3 more, each as large as the boat, bending, flexing, sinking into the water with unnatural grace. Lord Escham is too busy staring at the creatures to hear Eli and his wife scream, to hear Eli bellow orders at the other boat, to hear the voices on the other boat become all-out screams, and then something blacker than black moves in the gloomy water. He does not have enough time to warn the others as the shadow moves under their boat. For a moment, everything goes still, as if time stops. And then a crash, and then their boat lists to the side, flipping over entirely. Lord Escham crashes into the water.